guys.
Okay, cool. And C now too, yeah?
Hi,
How you doing, Kennedy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you all for making this adjustment. My name is Dianne Jackson, and I moved into Chapel Hill in 1983. And I came at a point from Richmond, Virginia. And Richmond, at the time in which I left, was a primarily Black district. So coming to Chapel Hill, it literally was a kind of rude awakening for me. But I felt very sheltered and supported at Glenwood because of the number of African American teachers there. At Glenwood, I was the elementary librarian, and we received a lot of kids from public housing, and a lot of kids that we received experienced what kids are still experiencing now, the opportunity gap. I don't call it achievement gap, I call it an opportunity gap because of the lack of experiences in terms of things outside their immediate neighborhood. A lot of the existing programs did not elevate kids of color. Glenwood had a show choir, and this was in the 80s. And the show choir did not have any Black students in it. And the director said the reason that they didn't have any Black students was that it was uniform. And so all the girls wore their hair pulled back in a bun. And that's why they didn't have any Black kids. And the Black teachers kind of revolted and said, this is crazy. I don't say it was intentional, but it was, to me, what I call institutional racism that existed that nobody literally had pushed back against. And so one of the other teachers who had come to Glenwood the year after us, after I did, we met with the Black teachers on staff, and we proposed to them and the principal a mentoring program. And I think that was in the early 90s. It was called Project Mecca, making each child a committed achiever. And it was an after school program where literally the district and the school supported us. We had tutoring, and the kids were provided transportation home. They had snacks, and their grades improved tremendously. We kept extensive records because we wanted to be able to have data to show that a setting like that with teachers who had high expectations for children made a difference in the students' academic achievement. We had plays, we had family nights where the families would come out to see the children perform. And it's one of the most, I think I'm most proud of that in terms of my achievement, impact in Chapel Hill. And so it became a place that was more welcoming for kids of color because of the advocacy of the staff. For me, the achievement gap, a part of it is our children, children of color, believing that they can achieve, believing that the system will work for them. And that's hard to do when you see every day evidence that it doesn't. You know, you can in Chapel Hill go through your entire school career and not have a Black teacher if you don't want one. I've known parents at when I was teaching to literally go to the principal and change the classroom if that child got a Black teacher. And even today, there are parents who question teachers. Well, where did you go to school? You know, it is again so ingrained in this community. It is literally a toxic piece that really nobody wants to pull the covers off and deal with. One of the things that I'm really most proud of is through being an educator in the state of North Carolina, I had two opportunities to travel internationally. One, UNC took a group of teachers across the state to Senegal. And another opportunity came through the governor's office, where a group of teachers went to Ghana. And part of our time at Ghana, we visited schools and we lived 3 nights in a family in a teacher's home. So I think that also impacted my school, because when I came back, we did a whole lot of emphasis on international, I guess, education, the diversity, the opportunities, and the lack thereof. I just think kids who travel internationally are more attuned to possibilities.